The Silent Song of Sadness, finally heard by Diabla Moret. Luna, the lunar princess, had been adjusting to the new age in which she arrived upon her return from exile. She was unable to fully grasp the new generation's way of living, but attempted to follow suit. Sadly, her efforts were not met with great reward, as she was still feared by many ponies and still suffered lonely nights. When she wasn't busy helping some pony with a nightmare, she was constantly looking at the moon that had been her prison for the 1,000-year exile. She was chosen by destiny to govern the same moon that held her. The irony of it wasn't lost on her. She stared at it and sang a song that couldn't be heard by any pony except those who knew true loneliness. Being isolated for an entire millennium and trapped inside the mind of a demonic entity was a punishment worse than death. A punishment that was delivered by her own sister. Luna wasn't innocent in her crimes and knew she would have been punished, though she didn't expect such severity as a consequence. The legends portray her as a villain that needed to be dealt with in such harsh terms. No pony ever bothered to check the facts about what truly happened that night. Luna and Celestia did have an argument, and it got out of hand. Luna was attacking Celestia, but it was not for her dominance. It was merely a cry for help. Like her saw, the cry went unheeded, and Celestia unwittingly ignored the suffering Luna was going through. The entire fiasco could have ended peacefully. The words that were said and the actions that were taken caused to end poorly. While Celestia had given every right to stop Luna's out-of-control behavior, she could have done so with love and care. Luna wanted nothing more than to be loved for the crime of desiring love and not receiving it. Fate had turned her into a monster. She was banished to the moon and as a monster and spent the millennium suffering in isolation, going mad. Through the eternal suffering of the saddened mare was hope. Hope that one day her sister would realize the mistake she made and undo the banishment. She was hoping that Celestia would find a way to bring her back and they could talk out their problems. Slowly, the portion of Luna that existed in Nightmare Moon got buried inside the insanity that was the nightmare. Luna had no thoughts of her own, and could only hear the evil plans the monster that was using her body had wanted to do. It was making her cry. With all the evil she wanted to commit, and the horrible plans she had for Celestia. After being released from the curse that was Nightmare Moon, and reuniting with Celestia, she had hoped for a better future with friendship as her guide. Silly me, thinking that she would actually show me kindness with them not around. Luna bitterly spat while looking at her accursed moon. Replaying her memories was not a fun activity. She hated remembering her sister's fake smile that night. They barely spent time together. It was 1,000 years ago all over again. The only thing different was that Luna had been able to help some ponies with their lives and help them find peace and rest. She had a plan for tonight, one that was going to change everything. She learned about portals and how they could take ponies to new worlds. She wanted to try using one and escaping Equestria. She wouldn't be missed in the slightest. It is what she thought and believed, since no pony ever requested an audience with her when visiting the castle. It was always her lovely sister they sought. She had felt the same feeling from 1,000 years past, and didn't want the events to play out again like they did prior. She wanted to avoid the situation at all costs and decided to leave for good of all Equestria. She couldn't allow Nightmare Moon to ever take foothold of her heart again. Since she was silent about the whole operation, she had expected nobody to stop her at all. She had began using the spell to open the portal that would send her to another realm. She knew nothing of the realm, but anything was better than being alone in her heart. The portal looked serene and felt safe to enter. It was light blue and hummed invitingly. Luna was about to enter when the portal got destroyed by another pony's magic. How dare you try to leave me after I lost you for 1,000 years already? The familiar noble voice said, causing Luna to turn and face the source of her anguish. Celestia was standing there with her horn lit, her eyes dripping liquid sorrow. I don't know what drove you to this, but we could talk. She was cut off before she could finish her sentence. Talk? You and me? 1,000 years ago, a talk would have solved all this, sister. But you didn't want to talk. You'd rather stop the monster and be the princess everyone adored. 1,000 years, Tia. Spent alone and miserable because you'd rather have been the hero instead of the sister. Luna sadly ranted. She began crying uncontrollably. Her tears flowed like her emotions did. Celestia wanted to comfort her. She knew she wouldn't be able to get close without triggering some reaction, so she decided against it. Sister, I was scared. You had seen twist. Again, she was cut off by the emotionally unstable Alicorn. You dare call me twisted? I came to you. I told you what I was feeling and you just made it seem as if I was being jealous. I was alone and you weren't there for me. I loved you more than anything, Celestia. You were my eternal sister and my eternal companion. Luna had remembered the day they both decided that no matter what, they would be at each other's side. It was a vow easily broken, it seemed. What can I do to make it up to you? Please. Celestia expected to be caught up again, and if she had been a gambling mare, she would have been rich. Not that it mattered. Make it up to me? How about you turn back time and fix your mistake? Oh wait, you can't. So I'm supposed to pretend like nothing happened. It was 1,000 years. While you were being loved and cherished, I was being cursed and hated. Luna spoke with such malignity that it was hurting her just to speak about the memories. Celestia approached her sister and nestled her in attempts to get through her psyche. Luna, I can't say I'm sorry. It wouldn't do justice to the regret I felt for locking you away that long. She laid on her stomach next to her sister and put her wing over Luna's body. She used the wing to hold her close. I can't do anything to change the past, but I can do whatever you need me to do to change our future. Luna thought for a second, and for the first time became brave enough to request something that she was being denied. I want you to take away your stupid friendship. I'm not your friend, and I never wanted to be your friend. I want your love. I want the love of my sister and my companion. We had a strong bond once, and I want it back. Can you offer me that? She hesitantly asked. Celestia was almost in tears at the first part of her sister's statement. When she heard the rest of it, she had calmed and smiled. As you wish. Our friendship was nullified, and I shall now offer you my love. She got away from her sister's side and stood in front of her like she did the day when she returned from the moon. Luna, will you accept my love, dearest sister? Luna smiled and tackled her sister into the ground, crying in happiness. Yes, I do, she softly said when she gained her composure. Luna had looked down on the sister she tackled and kissed her forehead. It was a soft and gentle kiss, relaying the message that 1,000 years was never sent. Celestia smiled, cried tears of joy before enveloping her sister into a fierce hug, holding her for the entire night, until they both fell asleep from emotional exhaustion. Celestia had never slept so peacefully. She accidentally overslept and knew she probably had given rise to the worry of her subjects. In that moment, she didn't care. She was with the one pony who mattered the most to her, and she would never forget that, ever again. With the two sisters having reforged their lost love and made time to spend with one another, the silent sod of sadness had eventually turned into a loud sob of joy. Never again had Luna looked at the moon alone. She had her eternal companion by her side during the moonlit nights.